With any computer, it's important to be able to shut down and restart. But you do not need to shut down your computer every time you finish using it. Sometimes the sleep mode is all that you need. So to look at our options, I'm going to open up the Start menu. So I'll click on the Start button in the bottom left corner, and you'll see there's an option here for power. I'll click on that, and it gives me some options for sleep, shutting down the computer, and restarting the computer. Now, if you choose to shut down the computer, it will turn off immediately. So I'll click on Shut Down, and my computer will shut down and completely power off. To use it again, you'll need to press the power button and wait for the computer to start up again. Depending on your computer, it may take some time to start up, but this one is going to boot up pretty quickly. Once the computer is restarted, then you'll need to log back into your account to start working. So you'll land on a screen like this, where I can just click once on the screen, and then I can log in with my user account. So I will need my password in order to log in. So this is one of those reasons why remembering your account name and password is really important. You will need it each time you turn your computer on. I'll type that in and I'll hit return. Okay, so that's the process of shutting down. So let's look at a few more options. I'll go back to the Start menu and I'll click on that power button again. There's also an option for restart. This will shut the computer down and immediately start it back up again. Sometimes you need to do this after installing new software. Sometimes if you're having some problem with the computer, restarting will fix the problem. And then there's the sleep option. Now, instead of shutting down the computer when you're finished, it probably makes more sense to just put it to sleep. The computer will not shut down, but it will shut off the screen, and it will use just a tiny bit of electricity to keep it dormant. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to put the computer to sleep, and it basically looks as though the computer has turned off. But it's not completely turned off. When I want to use the computer again, all I need to do is click on the mouse or hit any key on the keyboard to wake it up again. Then I can click once on this main screen, and then I might have to log in with my password. I'll hit return and I'm logged in again. So it's a lot quicker for a computer to wake from sleep than to start up after being shut down. So it's very rare for me to shut down my computer. Instead, I usually just sleep. Also, when you shut down your computer, it will shut down any application that's currently running. But that's not the case when you put it to sleep. You could leave 12 applications open with a bunch of unsaved documents. You can put your computer to sleep, and when you wake it up, you'll continue right where you left off. So you can access these settings here in the Start menu, or you can right-click on the Start button, and you'll see the options to restart, sleep, and shut down are here as well. This is just a slightly faster way to get to the same options. Now, when you do this, you'll see that there's an extra option here for sign out. So I could sign out here, or I could go back to the Start menu, go up to my Account button up at the top of the Start menu, click on that, and choose Sign Out. Signing out means the computer is still on, but I've closed any applications I was working on, and I've closed my user account. If I want to use the computer again, I just need to click on this first screen, just like we saw before, type in the password for my account, press enter, and I'm logged in again. So you would want to sign out of your account in two scenarios. One, if you want to lock the computer because you're going to walk away for a few minutes. Once you sign out, nobody can use the computer without your password. Second, if you have multiple user accounts on the computer and you need to switch from one to another, you can sign out and then sign in with the other account. But we're going to talk more about user accounts later in the course. So shutting down and restarting in Windows is pretty easy. And sometimes you don't even need to shut down. It might make more sense to just put the computer to sleep. So these controls are pretty easy. You just need to know where to look.